Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV. My name is Ben Kelly and this is my show, the Liverpool Development Watch. My job is to bring you updates on the loans and the youth sides associated with Liverpool Football Club. Later on in the show, I'll be talking about Harry Wilson, Divock Origi and Naby Keita, but first of all this week we're going to switch things up and start with the youth sides because there are a few more interesting things that are happening in that aspect of the show this week. So we're going to start with the Liverpool U23s who played Everton in the mini derby on Monday and they beat them 3-1, which was a really good result for us, and it was a result that kept Liverpool's title hopes alive in Premier League 2. Goals from Dom Solanke, an own goal, and finally Nat Phillips gave us a win. Curtis Jones caught the eye of many again, obviously one of those players who's been playing in the under-23s a lot in the back end of the season rather than the under-18s under Steven Gerrard. Like I said before, we can still win Premier League 2 after that result if we beat Chelsea in our final game, which is yet to be scheduled, and West Ham beat Arsenal at home on Friday night, this Friday. So we're kind of relying on other results to go our way, but it is still perfectly possible that Liverpool can win a league title this season in the Premier League 2. And actually, I think that would be an incredible achievement for Neil Critchley and his players, given the fact that he lost a lot of his players in January and he's had to sort of throw the current squad that he's got together right now, handpicking players from the under-18s to bring them up a level and put them into this team. And I think if they manage to come out with this trophy, that would be a real big achievement. After the game, though, on Monday night, Neil Critchley spoke to LiverpoolFC.com. He was very honest about the performance, which I do like about Critchley. Obviously, I've spoken to him a couple of times, as you'll have seen on the channel. He's very honest in his assessment about things. He said this about Monday night. Honest appraisal, I was disappointed with our performance. I think we played a lot better than that in recent games and got nothing for it. It's nice for the boys to win a game and to have that feeling of winning a derby. In the first half, Everton started better than us and had more intensity. Overall, I'm pleased we got the points, but disappointed with the performance, which is very interesting because for me, it's rare a manager does that. You know, if you win a game and you get the 3 points, you just sort of say, yeah, happy with that and move on. But obviously, these players need to learn that, you know, the performance is a big aspect of the game, not just the result. And I think him coming out and saying that is kind of, you know, just keeping them motivated to keep going until the end of the season. If they put in a good result against Chelsea, a good performance against Chelsea even, you know, there's possibly silverware at the end of it, and they just need to keep motivated and keep themselves going until the end of the season. And to be honest, what he was saying is right. You know, I did watch the game, and in the first half, the first 2 goals came within 20 minutes, within a couple of minutes each other, around the 20-minute mark. Dom Solanke scored a penalty, and then the own goal came very soon afterwards. And up until then, it had been all Everton. It was very much against the run of play, us scoring our 2 goals. But obviously, when you go 2-0 up, you begin to control the game from there. And we got the third one with about 15 minutes to go, I think, and then they got one with 10 minutes to go. And at that point, you begin to think, maybe, but no, we controlled the game pretty solidly, and we did very well. And one of the players who did feature was Corey Whelan, who's been on loan at Yeovil since January. He didn't get any minutes game time-wise this week for Yeovil, which meant that by the rules, he is available to come back and play a game for the Liverpool under-23s, which he did under Neil Critchley. He started at right back, he played the 90, always good to see him getting time on the pitch in a Liverpool shirt. The under-18s, though, sadly lost again, 2-1 to Sunderland this week. Their season is dissolving into nothing rather quickly, unfortunately. They're now 13 points behind Manchester United, who are almost definitely going to win the league. But we're only a point behind Everton, though, so maybe we'll finish above them if we pick up a couple more wins between now and the end of the season. The positive side, though, is that Manchester United got relegated from the under-23s level Premier League 2 this weekend, the day after Man City won the Premier League title. If that fact doesn't brighten up your day, I do not know what will. Right, onto the loan action then. 3 players saw no action, with Conor Randall, Shea Ojo and Ryan Kent all not selected. And Harry Wilson is continuing to shine at Hull. He got another goal in a 5-0 win away at Burton Albion last Tuesday. That goal put them ahead. He also won the penalty that ended up putting them 3-0 up, and he was very good again. Very promising stuff from Harry Wilson. I'm getting really excited about his form at Hull and how he's going to make an impact on the Liverpool squad next season. He was, however, less effective at the weekend in their 1-0 loss to Sheffield Wednesday. Divock Origi. Now, if anything could sum up his time at Wolfsburg, it would be this weekend. He missed a sitter from 6 yards out, which cost Wolfsburg a win. Header at the near post that really should have scored. They had to settle for a 0-0 draw with Augsburg. He had a couple of good opportunities. He had that header that I've just mentioned, but also, you know, he fired a good effort at the goal that was quite easily saved. But you know, he's a little bit more lively than in recent weeks, I would argue. I think the reality of it is that he's just dying for that loan to end to come back to Liverpool and get his long-term future sorted, and fair enough to him based on how this season's gone. Lazar Markovic played 64 minutes for Anderlecht versus Club Brugge. Ovie Ejaria played 90 minutes for Sunderland versus Norwich in a 1-1 draw, but he didn't get on the pitch versus Reading at the weekend. Daniel Sturridge finally returned to playing footy this weekend after 7 games out. Obviously, the manager who signed him has been sacked down in Pardew. He's returned under Darren Moore and helped West Brom to beat Man United at the weekend, even though he only played a couple of minutes worth of time. But it's really good for him to get on the pitch away at Old Trafford. It's a good place to do it, I suppose. And West Brom obviously have done us a little bit of a favour there. So cheers, lads. Try not to repeat it at the weekend. Marko Grujic's great lossless run for Cardiff came to an end as they lost to Aston Villa 1-0 a week ago. That was the goal with that fantastic Jack Grealish goal within the last 10 minutes that you may have seen flying around Twitter. And then at the weekend, he was an unused sub as Cardiff beat Norwich 2-0. So unfortunately, not the greatest of weeks for Marko Grujic, both on a team level and on a personal level. In general news, though, regarding Grujic, Dejan Lovren has tipped him to be heavily involved at Liverpool next season, not at another club on loan. I'm really glad for Marko that it's going well at Cardiff and hopefully they will be in the Premier League next season, said Lovren. He hadn't been playing here and is still so young, and I think that it was the right decision for him to go to Cardiff to get some minutes on the pitch. Going from the Serbian League to the Premier League was a big step for him, so I think that the first year and a half was about adaptation. Hopefully he will be signed for next season to play a big role here, because I know the manager is thinking about him in the future. And yeah, interesting thing said by Lovren there. Obviously, none of us are particularly big fans of when Lovren decides to give an interview and talk up players, including himself. But in this case, I think I'll make an exception because it's always good for senior players in the side to be talking about youth players and loanees in the press and sort of bigging them up, because at the end of the day, it gives those players confidence. I think Marko Grujic will be pleased to know that players in the senior side and like Lovren says, the manager has noticed how well he's doing at Cardiff overall and are thinking about him. I'm sure it's just a really good thing for him to hear. So yeah, watch this space for Marko Grujic in a Liverpool shirt next season, nobody else's shirt. Naby Keita couldn't stop RB Leipzig from going out the Europa League to Marseille. Not Lazio. I'm sorry about that. Last Thursday, despite an amazing assist to set up Kevin Augustin, this really was something else. It was a trademark Naby Keita burst into the box from midfield, and then he just does this flick, just this flick of, just this delightfully weighted back heel that sets up Augustin, who puts it in. I think that was their second goal. They went out 5-2 on the night, which was 5-4 in aggregate, I think. And to be honest, it was a tie that they should have had under control. They got an away goal really early on, and I was watching it, I remember thinking, from a spectacle point of view, this has been killed. But then suddenly Marseille were back in the game, and they got a couple of goals really soon after Leipzig had scored. And it was a really exciting game in the end. So, yeah, really pleased for that from a footballing perspective, but obviously from Naby Keita's perspective, sad for him that he's gone out the Europa League. In the Bundesliga at the weekend, they looked to bounce back, but he played 70 minutes versus Werder Bremen in a 1-1 draw. Leipzig are currently sitting 5th in the league, and to be honest, they're looking like they're going to fall short of Champions League qualification this season. They are 4 points behind Borussia Dortmund, who's sitting 4th with 4 games to play, so I'm not convinced that they're going to make it. But on the bright side for Naby Keita, it's only 75 days until he escapes Germany and comes over to England, puts on a Liverpool shirt, and starts winning trophies with Liverpool, because I'm confident that's exactly what he's going to do. And that concludes your development watch this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching as always. As always, do all the usual good stuff. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave me a comment, share it wherever you want. You know, I saw a few people sharing this video last week, just in random Liverpool groups and stuff. It's really good that you guys do that. So, as I say, thank you very much for watching. Again, I've been Ben Kelly. This has been the Liverpool Development Watch. I will be back next week. Goodbye.